we're going to talk about a couple concepts, a couple business concepts. You know, one of the things that we need to do is we need to stop listening to people who don't have a track record. We need to listen to people who have a track record. And so I would like to go and visit some of the millionaires in town and just stop by their mansion and ask them to guide me and help me with my business, right? And you know, if you can drive up, climb over the gate, and look out the front door, and there's people who have a lot of money in this town, but they frown on that. They might call that trespassing, you know. But these guys don't keep these things a secret. They write this stuff down. They write it in books, and if you read their books, you don't have to climb over the fence. You can read their book and find out their message. And so if you start listening to people who have a track record, it goes better. There's something called the rule of 5. If you take the 5 people you hang around the most with, you spend the most time with, all 5 people will tend to have pretty close to the same income, same lifestyle. And so if you want to change your lifestyle, start hanging out with people who have a much higher lifestyle than you do by reading their books. And so right now, Michael Dell is one of my 5. And the reason why I like Michael Dell is he was a pioneer in a couple ways. You know, we were always, you know, my dad told me, go to school, get good grades, which would be a change from what I was doing in high school, and get a good job. It occurred to me as I'm graduating high school that I'm going to have to provide for myself. So when I got to college, I buckled down, and I did get good grades in college, but I wasn't doing real well in high school because I just didn't understand why I had to sit here through all these classes and things, you know. But you know, look at the younger guy in the back there. He's saying, I don't want to sit here either. Well, it's probably good to get good grades, but Michael Dell dropped out of school. And he actually, if you can see a list of people who dropped out of college, they actually outproduced the people who finished college. Like Bill Gates for another one, Warren Buffett for another one, you know, Steve Jobs for another one. These guys did not finish college, but they taught us how to do things to be very successful. And so one of them is Michael Dell. Michael Dell started his company in his dorm room, and then he left college to run his company. And there had been different generations of retail, different generations of distribution before Michael Dell. Sam Walton was the big one. Sam Walton came up out of a Ben Franklin store. He kept telling the Ben Franklin guys, you got to watch Kmart. They're doing it right. Kmart, the Kresge brothers became billionaires. But Walmart knew how to even be better than Kmart. And so he had to start his own store because he could get the Ben Franklin guys to listen to him. But he did pretty well. He was slow starting, but boy, he really took off. But when Michael Dell saw what Sam Walton was doing, he said, I can beat him in his own game. Because even though he cut out all this distribution in Walmart took all the distribution that Kmart was giving to other people. Like they used regional distributors, trucking companies, local distributors. Sam Walton made that all Walton, Walmart and Sam's Club and Walmart Trucking. It's all under one roof. But he still has to keep those stores. He still has to pay those employees. He has to have that retiree guy at the front door welcome you to come in. He's it has to have a push cart person, you know, out in the front. You know, all these people get paid. So Michael Dell said, I'm just going to do away with all that, and I'm going to do my distribution of electronics through the internet. And people laughed at him. He's in his dorm room. The other people in the other dorm rooms are laughing at him because of his vision of creating a company where you distribute electronics through the internet. Because he said, how can you buy a computer if you don't have a computer on a computer? And so he was a genius. You just borrow someone else's computer, put the order, and then you get your computer, right? He could figure that one out. And so Michael Dell shared one of his big understandings of online business at 2 conferences. I think it was in the year 2000. He did it in Detroit, at the Detroit Business Conference, and then he did it in the Southwest in Arizona. And so it's called Michael Dell's 3 C's. And a lot of companies have used the 3 C's as a foundation of their companies. And so Michael Dell created something called the 3 C's. You can Google it, you can read about it. But just to cover it here, he said you need these 3 C's to have a successful company on the internet. So watch for the 3 C's. And so the first C, he said, was content. The second C was commerce. I don't write very well on the board, but you know what? Deal with it. And the second one was community. I don't spell well either, because I told you I didn't pay attention until I got to college. And they taught spelling before that. So we had content, commerce, and community. And so he said, I figured out content. Content is basically your website, and it's basically how you tell people how to use the products on the internet, because there's not a person that you can go up to in the store and ask them for help and they ignore you, like they do at the stores you go to, right? I'm busy, I'm stocking the shelves. I don't need a customer interrupting me, you know how that is, right? But you go to content, you go to the website is basically their business. And their website is the way that they teach you about the products. You see stories about how people like the products, things like that. So content isn't just the website, it's basically how to do business with the company. Commerce is what they're selling through their website, it's their product flow. And so Michael Dell said, we're masters at these. We're masters at this. I'm masters at content. I've created a $1 billion company online. I became a billionaire doing this with my site, with products, Dell computers coming through my site. So he said, I've mastered these two things, but I have not figured out community. He said, whoever figures out community on the internet will master the internet, will be the cat's meow, whatever he said. You know, he said something really, he said, this is really good and really hard. And so he said he hadn't figured out how to do it, because people will come on and buy a Dell computer this year when they need an extra 2 years from now. They'll buy the best deal. They'll go to Hewlett Packard or they'll go to somebody else, because the internet's so vast. He couldn't figure out how to create buyer loyalty on the internet. He said whoever gets these three things down, they're going to be awesome on the internet. Well, that was before Facebook. Facebook figured out how to make communities online. But the one thing Facebook still hasn't really become great at, is they haven't figured out how to get product flow. Now they do advertising and they make a lot of money, but they haven't figured out how to flow products through Facebook. So they figured out community, but commerce is still kind of up in the air as product flow, as a Walmart type thing, the things you absolutely have to have. You know, if it's on advertising, you don't have to have it, right? If it's that kind of thing that they're making their money off, you don't have to have it. No matter what happens in an economy, if you're basing your money on product flow that people have to have, you're not going to go out of business. Even during the worst times in this country, during the Great Depression, that's when Woolworths started. Woolworths started, made a lot of money during the Great Depression because they figured out how to get products to people. Because people, if you have a little money, you still have to get the stuff you need. So the most stable thing to have your money in, to invest in, is a company that products flow through. And so that's why Walmart is still doing well. But Walmart is moving all their money, all their future capital to the internet. They had a $300 billion budget every year for building new Walmarts. They took that $300 billion and they moved it to the internet, because they're not building new Walmarts. If they build a new Walmart, they're closing a Walmart physical store, and now they're putting they're putting they're putting a lot of money in. It's like many times what they did last year, like 10 times what they did last year into internet. So that Walmart within this decade will be primarily an internet company. Wow. Because they figured out this, but they haven't figured out community online. Right. And I'm here to tell you that the Sherlock has figured out all three of these things. We have a great site, and not only do we have a great site, each individual person, each individual business owner has their own personal site, their own personal app, which every one of us has this. And we give away the app, and the people that we give away the app to, that we teach how to save money, like I did on the stuff that we got at Walmart this week, that's commerce. If I'm giving away apps and I'm getting $2.25 an app on active apps, it's a phenomenal idea. I don't even have to have this huge business like Walmart and Dell have. I just have my little one-site business that can generate $2.25 per app that I give away. I mean, this is like Chuck said, this is not going to be the best kept secret much longer. It's already exploding into the other countries that get it. I mean, I started in this company about the same time as Pete Hamby. Now, I did free myself financially at my nonprofit, but Pete Hamby just walked away from a job where he makes $250,000 a year he was building the largest power plant in the world in South Africa. and he retired. And he's not as old as I am. I have a birthday cake over there. He's 10 years younger than I am. And he's retired.
Wow.
Because he just wants to do this. He sees this because he knows retirement sucks for most people. Retirement is really in the tank for almost everybody. Every company that has a retirement is trying to get out from under it. If you don't have some kind of residual income creating retirement flow for you, you are in Dutch. But he sees that with his company. Yeah, I'm making $250,000 a year, but what happens when I hit retirement? Well, if I'm into Sherlock, I'm replacing that income with the Sherlock now, but I got residuals I can count on in the future. It's pretty cool. So we got all three figured out. We have community because the people that use our app save money using the app. They're not going to use something else. It creates a community automatically. The people who give away the apps become part of a community because we're all together benefiting when other people benefit. It creates a natural community. We have commerce because product flow goes through our app because it finds the best prices. Every other thing on the internet is rigged to benefit the company. Right. This is the best place where you're going to find the best price because it's not rigged. Whoever's got the best price at the time when you're looking for it, you're going to get the best price. Nobody else does that. It's unique. That's why we got commerce beat. And content, we got our own content in our own phone that benefits us in our own business. How good is that? So this is Michael Dell's 3 C's. You can look it up. It's good stuff. He's a smart guy. So that creates a foundation for what I want to talk about here. Do you know what the best-selling business book of all time is? It's been a while since I told anyone that.
Good to Rich.
Pardon?
Good to Rich.
Good to Great. You're on the right track. Good to Great by Jim Collins. Jim Collins was a professor. He wanted to find out if companies go good to great and if a good company can become great and stay great. And so what they did is they studied thousands of companies, like 14,000 companies. They came down to like 11 companies that went good to great. They were good companies and they got great. And so these companies, they found a pattern that these companies had. So you can look at a company that you're interested in and you can take the model that they found that these companies were good and went to great and see if the company that you're interested in, like buying stock in or working for, if that company could go good to great. And there was something that he called, it was called the hedgehog concept. And the hedgehog concept comes from a Greek myth, a Greek children's story. And it's about the fox. The fox knows many things, but the hedgehog knows just one, and he does it well, and the fox can't get him. So he sees fox. That's all he does, fox. And so so the hedgehog's concept is one thing. If these companies do this one thing, they're successful. And this one thing is like a flywheel, and it's made of 3 parts with an axle. And so what they are is basically a Venn diagram. So we have 3 things. The first thing is what is your economic engine? And our economic engine is the Sherlock app. You know how many apps have been downloaded so far? Apple's had 50 billion apps down. What'd you say?
Billions.
Billions of apps. You're exactly right. There's at least like 2 apps for every human being on the face of the earth. And so there's like 50 billion apps from Apple and 83 billion apps through Droid. And so a lot of apps. So we are actually in the age of the app right now. So we got an app, the Sherlock app. It's our app. Each one of us can give away our own unique ID'd app. How smart is that? So our cash engine is the Sherlock app. General Electric was one of these companies that went good to great. Their thing was the jet engine, right? I mean, it's a big thing, but apps, they're all coming out with apps. So the Sherlock app is our economic engine. The next thing is, what can you be the best in the world at? And so we're the best in the world at mobile commerce. For the masses. Helping everybody make an income through their mobile device. No one's doing that. We're the best in the world at it. No one is doing this where every individual that has a license can give away an app to make money off. No one has that. We're the best in the world at that. And the world is finding out about it. The United States, we're asleep as a country. I mean, Hong Kong's exploding, the Philippines, there's like guys becoming diamond over there. You know, Kazakhstan broke 25 globals. 25 global. We're just like, you know, we gotta get this flywheel waking up in the United States. It's just, we've been lulled to sleep here for some reason. Maybe we've had it too good, you know, and they're hungry for stuff. So nobody is better at helping the masses with mobile commerce to make money than we are. Nobody. And then mobile commerce, that's what we're best in the world at. And then what are we passionate about? Well, I'm passionate about all three, but we're passionate about communities of people. High tech, high touch. We're passionate about building communities of loyal buyers. Communities of people that are banded together to use the app and to give the app away. That's what we're passionate about. Buyer loyalty, like Michael Dell says online. We're passionate about people giving away apps where they can help people save money. When people save money, they make money, they benefit. That's us. Communities of people helping other people save money with an app, making money while they do it. That's what we're passionate about. And right here is the best home-based business in mobile commerce and in the app world. That's the center here, and that's right where the Sherlock is. In my estimation, the best company to be part of in the world right now, bar none.